And what's up, everyone? What's up, also?
Subbles. How are you?
Great, great. Yeah, welcome everyone to the For the Boys podcast. Podcast created for everyone to share their life experiences, and in the hopes it'll help someone out there that's struggling or going through a tough time. Um, yeah, I'm Teza.
I'm Smoky. Second, whether you're watching our live stream or listening through our audio podcast, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and we are not professionals. So disclaimer: we're not professionals, but the guests we do have on tonight. Um, wow, she's amazing and definitely a professional in her field. I guess many fields she's a professional at because I've been following our guests for a while now and watching her post her earlier days. Bro, you'd think she's a chef. You know, people were
Oh, the
asking
early days.
early. I'm telling you. So at the beginning, like she was sharing you know whatever she was making, and throughout the whole day, people were asking. So she's amazing.
That
And
was a cool series.
and then even talking to the host, Bobby. Shout out to Bobby that didn't want to turn up tonight
Shout out
because
to
he had
Bobby.
training. Nah, he had training. So uh, but yeah, bro. Yeah, how's it going, Us? How was your day? You had the day off
All
today?
good. Had the day off today. So just spent just spending some me time.
Oh, me time,
Yeah,
eh?
had a good day too. Had a good day today.
Yeah. Did you go back to the old Thai massage? Did you?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Auntie Maylene in a while. Haven't seen Auntie Maylene in a while.
Okay. Well, anyway, I got my right hand man here. Hey, come here.
Hey, shout out to the chat, sub hooks. Oh yeah, Bobby. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in, drop a comment, ask questions.
Yeah, no, definitely. Chat come through if you got any questions. For our guest. If you have any for us, by all means, throw it out there. Again, our podcast is built around mental health. So we're very passionate because we know as Pacific and Maori people, um, mental health is not it's not spoken about or used in family. We're the
Not
type
in
of
your
people
everyday
to
dialogue. Yeah.
yeah we're the type of people to throw it underneath the carpet and don't worry about it for the next time. And when the next time comes around, it just keeps going and it just builds up. So and it's actually a perfect time to as our guest, as one of our guests jumps on. She's a professional massage therapist. It's also an education for us too. So and our viewers tonight because I think she's got all the knowledge for us, and I think you guys are probably asking how does that um, work with mental health massage therapies. So that's one of my questions. And but without further ado, we'd like to bring on the amazing and the powerful Hosanna Mateo, also known as Huskanstone.
Hey, hello.
Talofa. Welcome, sis. Thank you for taking the time.
No, thanks for having me on.
Oh yes, I'm so nervous.
Yeah. We had a good chat before this, though.
We had a good chat
Yeah,
before,
no, we
but
were
I was
fine
like,
before all this.
we start. It's such a big subject.
it is. It is. And it's. I guess to have a professional on to talk to us about massage therapy. It's There's so many, I guess, roads we can take. But first, we want to start off by just a short introduction, please, sis. Um, yeah, where you're from, and everything else with that.
Cool. So Hosanna is my name. I'm owner of HUSKANDSTONE. Born and bred South Auckland, Samoan descent. Tokelau somewhere and other little things, but those are the most dominant Samoan. I'm a massage therapist from Southside, clinical massage therapist actually. I've been studying for a while in health. My background varies. It was a big journey just to get to massage, or just self-discovery. Really, I've gone from cooking. So I did an apprenticeship in cookery years ago. Went from there to working with my dad on cars to studying to finance to insurance to this. So if you've got any questions about that, yeah, feel free to ask, because it's just, yeah, it's a bit of a history.
Yeah. So with because you obviously branched out into many fields. Um, how did you get into the one you're doing now, like clinical massage therapy?
Um,
What made you choose that and say, look, this is me. I'm gonna take this on.
Geez. So when I think it was like 2017, decided to go back to the books. Always knew that health was kind of where I wanted to sort of end my days. To continue working was in health, and I think it was more like a poly instinct. We have this instinct to just help people, to care for people, to serve, to assist. And what better yet was to be in that sort of industry. I've got a sister that's a registered nurse. She specializes in geriatrics. I've got a brother that's in psychology, so that's his field. That's what he studies, and he's working along that side of thing. And then you've got hubby who's in mental health. So we have all sorts of interesting conversations.
I bet.
But the turning point was, going back to study. I thought that I'd go back to studying nursing because I had an incomplete bachelor that I had started years ago. I thought I'd go back to that and finish nursing or midwifery. So those were the two avenues. And then I came across an amazing tutor. He's a Kurdish man. He's a doctor. And I kind of was going through this career path choice. It was pretty hard at the time, and I was just like, look, I just really need to settle in and do something that I want to do forever. And he goes, so what do you want to do? And I said, oh, nursing. And he goes, oh, but he kind of looked at me like, oh, we'll look into it, because there's a lot of polys that are already doing nursing. There's a lot of polys already doing midwifery. And I went, okay. He kind of assessed my situation at the time. He goes, oh, how many kids do you have? And I said, I've got 4. And he goes, and you got bills? And I went, yeah. And he goes, and you want to take on another 3-year degree? And I went, oh, yeah, I think. So we went. I completed the advanced health paper at the time, and he looked at me and he goes, "Oh, I've got something for you. I've got somewhere where you'd be awesome at." And he was talking about how I can be in this industry, study and make some money, and at least feed the kids and assist, with bills and things. I'm getting excited, and then he just kind of sat me down and he goes, massage therapy. I cried like for real. I really did. I really
did. You understand what he's meant by massage therapy? You're like, what the hell is this?
No. All I knew about massage therapy was the oriental massage places that are just kind of popped everywhere.
The ones that Swanky was going to.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. No, I literally cried. I stood there and thought, you think I can't do the paper? Or do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I questioned him, and I went, come on, relook at it, reassess me, And he goes, no, massage therapy, alternative medicine. And then I thought, nah, this guy doesn't know. And he goes, look, if you want to be a nurse or a midwife, that's cool. You know, they're still awesome professions. But I think he knew that I wanted to be somewhere where I could be me, you know, like really be creative with science and art at the same time. And now he's one of my closest friends. You know, he still helps me with my journey. I always turn to him advice. Everything that he said up until now has come true. Like everything that he's spoken about with me showcasing muscle manipulation to my people. He predicted all that, and he's Kurdish. He's not island at all. Like he's just a very clever, knowledgeable man. So he was the turning point. When it came to applying to start the degree back in 2019 or 2018, when I went to apply, I held off for ages. You know, they go, oh, apply 3 weeks before, apply a month before or something. I didn't. I thought, nah, if it's meant to be, it will happen. You know, I was kind of relying on fate or destiny or something. And then 2 or 3 days before the course started, I still hadn't enrolled. And I thought, oh, you know, Bobby's taking me there for my interview to call in and see if I can enroll. And I thought, no, I'm not going to get in because they're going to say it's too late. Oh, they approved it on the spot. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm meant to
be,
do this. Yeah. So I did the study, and I think 3 or 4 months into that year, then I realized, hey, this is not bad. The physical, I think, aspect of massage I started to enjoy. The interest, yeah, it just became really, really interesting. And then HUSKANDSTONE developed that year, and that came out of a school project.
Yeah. So how did you come up with HUSKANDSTONE?
The name, or
yeah, the name. Sorry.
Well, it was going to just be Husk, but it sounded too short. And then I thought, oh no, I don't know, it has to be with something. So Husk is, I thought of a flashy sort of way to say I'm Polynesian. Husk, you know, the coconut husk. Yeah. And also if you look at the husk of a coconut itself, it sort of resembles muscle fibers. So I thought that was pretty cool. And stone,
we're going deep.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. And stone was my first tool that I used, an associated tool, a tool that helped me massage was a stone. And at the time I was lifting stones in strongman, and I really enjoyed that. So it kind of all married up.
I was going to say, you forgot about that on your
that's what I was
intro.
Yeah, exactly. Strong men.
Yeah.
Once we're you still, well, obviously babies on
the way.
Don't know yet.
Yeah, it's a boy.
Oh, on his way. Oh, congrats again.
Congrats.
You know, sorry, going back to your strongman days. Did you enjoy that too? Because you obviously dabbled in a bit of strongman events and with Bobby.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was something that me and Bobby could do together. I was never a cardio running fitness sort of person.
Ain't we all?
I'm not a runner, but strength was I think one thing that came automatically. I think, yeah, and I enjoyed it more. And I kind of knew of Afa, the owner of Strength at Otara. I kind of knew him through Bobby anyway. It was Bobby's old boss, so he introduced it to Bobby. Bobby took me along, and the rest was history. It was fun. Did a few comps through Strength Pit, and it was fun. Lifting stones was fun.
Yeah. and Bobby said, don't forget that beautiful. Oh, that husband is beautiful.
I forget that happened.
I don't even know if he's at training, the liar.
Can you
He just went outside.
Yeah. No, that was so that's how HUSKANDSTONE sort of became a name, was through it was a requirement through our first year of the degree. And then you can either pretend to have a business, but I think I couldn't really pretend. I had to see if this is what life is going to be like for the next few years. I got to give it a go and see if it's going to work. And it's been pretty good so far. Touch wood.
Shout out to DJ
Oh
Alki.
no!
He's
That's
Chad.
through on the chat.
Oh no!
So just
Yeah,
for
he's one of my regulars.
Oh no!
our podcast listeners out there, Swanky, if you want to read that up.
Oh, it's DJ Alki. She can throw Bobby across the road with ease. Just as Bobby.
Wow.
Oh.
But yeah, like it's again, it's amazing how talented you are, and you have all these, you've gone into all these fields. You've actually done them, and it's shown on your Instagram reels. But because with mental health and massage therapy, and I know, just speaking from myself, as how are they joined? How can they be? How can it benefit your mental health with
Massage.
massage? Yeah.
I think it gets to a point where for a client, whatever they're going through, they'll seek whatever it is that will help them. And the way sort of the health industry works is you go see a doctor, and then whoever the doctor sort of refers you to, that's where you go and get specialist sort of care. Anyone that is experiencing mental health that has come through my doors, they've been told that oh, you need to go get some relaxation therapy. So those are clients of mine that come from Remuera. Uh, I think it's an area where their doctors would refer them to that sort of thing. Hang on, it's just arrived. With polys, with our people out this way that are suffering from mental health, they're given suppressants or they're given medication. So it's a hard one. So I have to educate massage to the majority of my clients who are Polynesian descent. And I talk about the benefits of massage therapy for mental health in my clinic.
Yeah.
But the referrals that I get are not from South, or they're not poly. They're
for real?
They're Palangi. Yeah.
Damn.
So I
Is
relaxation not in the southern?
I don't know.
Is our people too hard? They don't want to. Do they have a different mentality to what, or maybe they're not educated enough to understand that?
I don't think the awareness is strong.
Yeah.
It's just, and like I said prior, the interview was that it's slowly coming through. The message is slowly getting across. When I post something up about depression and anxiety and the effects of massage, I get private messages about, hey sis, I'm finding it really hard to sleep, or could I see you? And they won't sort of discuss anything in the comment or in their message. So I'm like, okay, they need an assessment or consultation. When they come in, they walk through the doors and you can just tell that they're stressed or they're upset, and they sit down, and then a sentence in, they bawl their eyes out, they're crying, they're just like, look, I haven't slept for days, I've just had a baby, apparently I've got postnatal depression, but I don't want to take the drugs. I heard massage can help. So some people are seeking their own, doing their own homework about how to help them, and that's the that's the cool thing about Google sometimes, but then you have people that also self-diagnose themselves, and it makes my job a little bit difficult.
Google at the end of every search will say you'll die.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, but our people are getting more clever. They're searching ways to help themselves. Yeah, and that's pretty cool.
But that's just out of it, though. How you say your referrals are from
Yeah,
outside of
The,
South
the
Auckland?
yeah,
out of South
yeah.
Auckland, yeah.
And because of, yeah, I don't
Do you think
know.
it's because like our people like tie in massage to like for full?
I think
Like
so
it's
too.
like only if something's wrong, not for
Yeah, only
relaxation.
if, yeah, they'll view massages only when they're injured or
Yeah,
when something's had force applied, like they've
Yeah.
fallen or something, or
yeah, yeah.
post surgery. Then they'll think that that's when a massage is needed, or when they think they're just in pain, like physical pain. But I'll discuss that with
That's
a lot of my clients.
that's
Yeah,
true because no, I'm not the best athlete, but when you're injured, that's when you're like, oh, I need a massage. That's the only time you ever go. But you obviously thinking about your body, but
yeah,
also the benefits for mental health. Obviously, it like you
yeah.
said before, it takes off a lot of stress, and
Mm,
yeah, like with your clients, and man, it's to hear that people come in and actually do say I need the massage, and
mm,
it's gonna help me
yeah.
further. Yeah, like with different clients that come in, and how do you approach different clients? Because obviously you have like you said, all the rich balangis coming through, and then at times our people come through as well.
Yeah,
How does that all start? And before
yeah.
you answer the question, we'd like to welcome our actual guest, nah, nah, Mr. Mafiuso. Hopefully he's brought us some dinner too.
Hi guys.
Hey, Savus.
Savus.
Been a minute, been a minute.
Welcome back,
Hello.
Gus.
Hi, Bobby's better half.
Yes. So yes, this hopefully the question I asked you could understand.
So what was it? The most of our
Yeah,
salespeople?
like the different clients that you get in massaging, and how do you, I guess, approach the different type of people that do come through your doors.
Okay. I would say 80% of my clientele are Polynesian, which was a major focus um, post opening up Husk and Stone. It was that was the focus. It was bringing clinical massage to my people. That was kind of like the foundation. Um, what they usually come in with is always an injury or a strain. That's usually what it is. No one comes in because of anything mental before. This was before I started to share the awareness. Um, it's always, I think, 80% of that 80%. If that 80% of my poly clients,
Yes.
the common one is neck and back pain, like lower back pain, neck pain. That's usually the spots that I need to get to. We assess, we'll do safety checks, we'll do orthopedic testing to make sure that they're safe to work on. Oh yeah, and rewinding back, there was a client that had come through, and he was complaining of back pain for a long, long time. I did a safety check on him, which was to sit down, head kind of hunched forward. He had to sort of sit with his back hunched. I told him to take a deep breath in and pretend that he was gonna sort of push the air out, like as if he was constipated. I asked him if he could hold the air in his tummy and push. And when he did that, he was in pain. Like he was just like, ouch. There was a pain that hit the lower back. And I said, okay, we'll try one more test. And if that was already after that test, I was like, no, I'm not going to work on you. in my head, but I didn't tell him till after the second test. So I had him lying down. It's called a straight leg test. I lifted his leg up. We couldn't even get it, say, hand height to lift his leg up. And then he goes, nah, can't do that. There's a pain shooting down my back. I can feel it in my pelvic. I can feel it coming to the front. I said, okay, so those tests sort of show that there's some neurological issues. And he goes, oh, what's that? And I said, look, go to your GP, tell him that I did this test. I wrote a short referral letter. He went to the doctors, rang me back, and he had a slip disc. So it had compressed some of the nerves in his lower back. He ended up having to have surgery. He was sort of paralyzed on one side for a little while. So that's the approach anyway. If people are coming in with signs, we have to run safety checks. So a lot of massage therapists that aren't qualified, they will just put an elbow there and go, oh yeah, is that better? You know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, because earlier you said anyone can be an MT.
Yeah.
And you also said there's not many qualified. Just as well, he was referred to you or he came to you, and you know what you're doing. Just imagine the guy, the unqualified people that, like you said, sticking an elbow there or just pressing.
Hello.
Yeah, we could hear you. I think just your
Sorry, I froze there. What was that?
No, I was just saying that just imagine the MCs that are not qualified coming through, and like you said, put an elbow right where the slip disc was, and next minute he's not walking anymore.
Cause more damage.
Yeah.
So those are
just as well, he came straight to you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the little things that applying those to a session, they're very valuable, because you could do, in my profession, you could do more harm than good. So you have to be really careful, assess, check someone's history, consult, check their daily activities, what they can do, what they can't do anymore. Yeah, it's a lot of that before a session, before a treatment. So that helps me assess someone. There are times when I'll have a client that they don't know where the pain is. They just sort of go, I don't know what it is. And then you'll talk to them about, they go, oh, it's in here somewhere, it's in my back, but they don't know where it is, or I've just got headaches, I was told to get a massage. And then you kind of halfway through a session, they'll open up and say, I lost my daughter last week, or just finished a family funeral. And then the whole session just changes instantly. The pressure changes, the speed of the session changes. So I kind of step back, we talk again, and I said, and then usually by that time they've broken down into tears, or and yeah, the session I have to adapt to the client again. So they're not always straightforward.
Sorry, sis. Sorry, we're gonna run it back. The history around massage therapy, and I think you threw up a post earlier this week about how it all started, and obviously these people they know out there that around prostitution and massage and all that. Yeah, because could you explain more on that? It's
oh yeah. That is cool. So yeah, it is massage therapy. When I was first told massage therapy is where you should be headed to, straight away I thought of Red Light Special. Straight away I thought of the girls that massage.
Yeah.
And I thought, damn man, like I was sort of kind of. No, I was embarrassed to kind of talk about that I was doing massage therapy, because I didn't know the history, or I didn't understand.
Which is good for us, because educating, especially people that don't know about massage therapy, and
Yeah.
And also us, because we spoke about it earlier in the show. So,
Yeah.
sis, keep going.
So it's the history is quite widespread. It's very complex. Massage is the oldest form of medical practice. It started off from being an orthodox medicine to being and acceptable to then being complementary and then being marginalized as an industry. Um, and that sort of changed. I think the view of massage therapy changed. So apparently in the UK there was a school of masseuse that started out there. I think it was like late 1800s or something, 1893.
Bloody
And
pommies.
that school had started up because of the massage scandals. So there were tutors or something, or teachers or whatever. They were sort of offering this respectable career to young women, because massage therapists back then, they worked with nurses, they attended to World War veterans. They were a respected profession. So these young girls that went in and thought, man, I want to be a massage therapist. I want to help people. Quickly turned sour when they couldn't pay their education fees anymore, and they were pushed towards prostitution to pay their fees. And then so that's sort of where it went down for massage therapy. Like, that's the history. So they started using during that era, it was like a Victorian era, I think. That's when they started using massage therapy as a cover for houses of prostitution. And the rest is history, and we're just slowly trying to change it. And massage therapy isn't just that, it's also traditional. You have miri, you have fufu, you have countries like India that have their special type of massage that works for them and their culture. It got suppressed because it was either sexualized or it was known as witchcraft or something, like it was something that they couldn't understand that we believe in. And then after all that, they had, due to the negative effects of the scandals, the public's perception of massage, they had to then change the model of massage, where they were recommended to work with like medical professions and stuff like that. And that's when physiotherapy came. That's in a nutshell. Yeah.
Wow, so physios came off the back of
Massage.
prostitution.
No.
Nah, jokes.
No,
That's how educated I am.
Physiotherapy. I guess I've got friends that are physios, awesome physios. I've got a lecturer that's a really awesome physio as well. So we bounce off her and get her understanding. But she just says, look, physios do what they want to do, and massage therapists do what we want to do. So our sessions are longer than a physiotherapist session. I can go up to, I think my longest session was like 3 hours with one client. And that was
3 hours.
Yeah,
damn.
3 hours is probably my longest session I've ever had. So it's from 60 minutes is minimum to about 90, then 2 hours, then 3 hours.
That wasn't Bobby, was it?
So that's how
But for 4, man. Surely, man. Bobby's
Bobby, yeah, I hope you're paid, Bobby. Shit.
Yeah. But yeah, massages,
So-
the history of massage is massive and untold, I think. Yeah.
So I
That's it.
just taking it back to your story, where you were saying the dynamic kind of changed once the client kind of opened up about losing somebody earlier during the week. Would you say it was like easier for you to kind of like adapt and change because you're a female? Do you reckon it would have been hard for a male to like deal with that type of dynamic? Like how quickly the mood would have changed.
Yeah.
The strength of your squeeze
yeah.
on the leg would have changed.
That's it.
You know, you would have been more like, you know.
I think
Yeah,
if
would you say
anything,
it's either for like the fact that you're a female, would that have been easier for you than it would have been for a male to try and
I don't know. I think males can do the same. If someone has a emotional breakdown like that, you kind of then start to understand their pain. Like they teach that in our studies as well. You have to learn to adapt to the change of session. In that particular case with that lady that came in and talked about her daughter's suicide, I started to understand where all her pain was sitting. You know, the headaches, the sleepless nights, the not eating. You know, that all kind of contributes and makes pain worse. So, especially the not sleeping, and she was still in the process of grieving. So these pains were alleviated. And I think if one of my male therapist colleagues was in that same situation, I think he would have been able to understand it as well, and he would have maybe just said, "Oh, do you want a moment? You know, did you want me to leave the room for a little bit?" We're kind of taught those boundaries as well. I think as a whole, people just prefer a female, but it's only because there's hardly any male massage therapists. It's an awesome industry for a guy to get into, really, especially the sports side of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good because people, you also become another therapist, and like as you said, you get to listen to people open up about everything else that happens in their life. You know, they talk about, like you said, losing someone, and you at times think, am I qualified enough, or does this all kind of tie back into um, massaging? Because the mental side of handling all these kind of emotions, does it affect you at times? Do you get time to yourself? Do you get time to go and, hey, man, this is pretty? It was pretty
Heavy.
yeah, pretty heavy.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you now deal with it? Because you've now taken a load off someone else,
Yeah.
and that load's now on you. Whether it's a load or not, how do you now take it? What
let's
do you
do
do
more
to
candles
relax?
and you light more
Just
candles and then go outside.
Take
Yeah,
it out
yeah,
of
no, the
Bobby.
candles help. Yeah.
is that when Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby.
That's why Bobby doesn't come back on our podcast, because he probably has all the bruises on his.
Yeah. He's taking the hits. He's taking the hits.
When a session gets really, really heavy, um, I think, there are times where, because I have breaks in between every session, so I think there are times where I just sit in the room. I have my mom come take all my linen. She just believes that taking everything out and getting it washed, you know, she's that lady that's like, oh, we don't know what else they've come in with, so she'll wash all my linen, she'll clean my room. We'll have a bit of devotion, bit of prayer. You know, that's how our parents think of things, and I think that's what's been helping me, you know, in a cultural holistic sort of way. That's how we've been raised. So and then if I think about what I've learned in school and how to adapt, how to adapt to people that come in with a lot of emotional burden. One, I'm not qualified to give advice. You know, I can't assess or treat someone psychologically, but we do study a health psychology paper to sort of place boundaries. But then you all those thoughts of the studies that you do in health psychology kind of go out the door when you have someone in front of you that's bawling their eyes out. You can't help but just comfort them. You know, you just put your hands on them and just go, oh, did you want me to, did you want me to leave? Did you want, a hot drink, or what do you need?
Yeah,
You just, that's the
sometimes
first
the books
instinct.
don't teach you that sort of
Nah,
stuff to be
Yeah.
kind of personal
nah,
with the
yeah.
but for yourself, is that how you kind of deal with it? Because you've now taken in, you've now taken in all that kind of the emotions and everything. Do you try and time to just keep a professional and say, look, I know, but now I have to do my job now and work around it
Yeah,
and try and
probably.
say, like,
Probably
I'm
not
not
like
saying
that.
like push them out the door, like not like put a wall up and go, okay, whatever, no jokes. But now you have
Nah.
to
I think that's when like a poly flare comes in. You end up knowing how to like twist the conversation into something more positive. You know what I mean? Or all of a sudden we're laughing at the end of it.
Yeah.
Not about the problem, but laughing about something else, about maybe whatever it is at that time, just to make them feel comfortable. And then you just tell them, hey, you give some home care, get some sleep. If you want to come back, let me know. Let me know how the session is for you. So it's like touching base after. But for me, man, I just need food, water, sleep, and I'm all right. Good to go after that. Yeah.
Did you ever expect that people will be comfortable or to come and offload those personal things when you started Husk and Stone?
No, never. I was inspired by a lot of American massage therapists. The culture there with massage, they're blowing it out. They're blowing it out of the park over there, and they're stating a massive name for us. I like how they deliver what we do. They've got a lot of professional bodies there in the States that support them. So I was thinking I was going to be more sort of that sort of thing. When I started to have clients that were coming in with emotional outs. Sorry. This is
it's
reality.
all good.
See?
Yeah, it's all good.
Bobby.
That's part of
Bobby.
Yeah, go
I
outside.
don't know if Bobby's doing his job or
Shout out.
Yeah, close the door.
shout out
Close
to
the
the
door.
kids.
Shout out
Thanks.
to the kids.
Shout out to
Come on, little
Bobby.
Bobby. Salam.
Oh no, they're down. All right, what were we on? What were we talking about?
How the massage therapists in the States are setting the bar? Is it like
Yeah, no, they are. In Canada, you've got some awesome therapists out there. Those are probably the two countries that are really pushing massage therapy, and I hope. Oh, and Oz too. We just don't have a sort of a professional body here that. Yeah, that's another topic. But
that's what I'm learning now. Hey, it's quite broad.
Yeah,
Like the field is quite.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to like kind of create like a professional body, or is that something too long to even think about?
Oh, it's in the discussions at the moment. Me and a couple of other therapists have been inspired to hopefully go that way. But we're in an era where paper talks. So the more qualified you are, that speaks more for itself. So because of that, thanks for bringing it up. Well, I'm heading that way. I'm looking at doing my master's next year, and hopefully a PhD. So it's all for this passion for massage, for its importance, for my culture, to uplift traditional massage as well, put a place there for them. No, massage is awesome. It's just the stereotyped view, the history that's damaged it. But no, it fits in the health scope, man. If you look at what health it's cultural, it's social, it's spiritual, it's physical, it's emotional. It's all those things, and I think massage is that too. So
It's everything. Yeah, you can kind of,
yeah,
if you ever look at it, really, it's everything
yeah.
involved. Um,
Mm.
is it? Um, does it at times, because you run Huskins Tones? Do people try and book an appointment with you when, like, say you're busy and you feel, damn, I need to actually attend this client? Does it ever get like that, or is, um, like you said in the beginning, all your clients have been amazing and it's been good, it's worked for you, but at times, someone's going through and it's like a hard time, and they
Yeah.
actually reached out and said, hey, um, is there any way I can get book an appointment? I know with your schedule at the moment, and mum to be, which is again,
Again.
congratulations. Um, does it get yeah? Do you get texts like that or messages like that? Um,
uh,
or like
if
just
I
help in general?
um I'll have regulars that will pre-book for once every week for say 2 months.
Mm,
And those are usually the clients that know what they want. Um, Say if it is emotional, oh, hang on, let's go back. So yeah, I'll have clients that book every week. I'll have clients that book, regularly every fortnight, depending on what their problem is or their issue is. Um, Shit, man, I think I'm lost. I'm trying to understand your question. Is it?
maybe my question wasn't even understandable.
No,
Maybe his question wasn't
Let's
in the
move on.
spectrum, Zilly.
no. I'm
Let's
trying to
move
get it.
on.
Was it?
Hey,
It
we got a
was. It
question
was.
from We'll, we'll just get this
Oh,
question. Don't worry about my
okay,
question, sis. I'm sure the chat didn't even understand my question anyway. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to get it.
Swanky.
Oh, question from DJ Alki. Besides about exclaiming your husband, would you consider taking your craft to the next level?
Yes.
And what is the next level?
Um. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Um. Next level of massage. I think it's adding another modality. So right now I'm looking at more research into massage. Um, Massage to the next level will be we'll be adding something else like midwifery or nursing or psychology. I'm yet to decide which one. Originally, I wanted to get into osteopathy, which is they deal with bones and joints, and they've
Yeah.
got a different approach to chiros, but I like how they utilize massage too. So yeah, now the next step is endless. I haven't decided which one yet.
I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How much of this 1 for 4 are we hurting ourselves instead of doing any good to, like, um, sprain ankle? We all know to stay away from it. So he's gonna like oil up your ankle and then use his heel to heal your ankle with the weight of the body.
With the weight of another human.
So how
Sis,
much
The
of that
sis,
fully
is
before you
approach.
actually good for you, and how much of it is a big no-no? Like,
sis,
Uh,
before you answer that question, I would just like to bring on our boss.
Sorry, sis, we got
He's
to
got
bring on
all
the
the
boss.
best. He's always got the best questions, so we have to bring
And the
him on.
best lighting.
Shout,
And the best
shout out
lighting.
to boss Mace.
here he is.
You guys
Hey,
are the
Hello.
Maloso.
worst.
Maloso.
What's up, guys?
Maloso. We're working. We clocked in.
Yeah, we're putting in our time, boss.
You guys are bad, man. You guys are bad. Yeah, I just caught the end of that conversation about the ankles. All right, I've been there. Right? Still,
Yeah, I saw you put
Memory.
up a question about it. If it's good to solely the
So
ankle.
so again,
Oh.
yeah, just just with the question again, Muffy.
How much is it like of that solely is actually doing good, or is it just a big no-no? Like that is so not the way to go about it.
It's an approach I wouldn't do because only because of what I know is there. Like you've got nerve endings, you've got different nerves that make the foot work. And I'm thinking if you were to stand and apply your body weight to it, that your foot won't work anymore. Or you could, and there's tons of bones down there. So I have never, I can't speak on experience because I've never had it done. But if it's worked for somebody,
Is
I guess
your
go
is
for
your
it.
foot all right, boss?
Ooh,
How's
it's
your,
like
how's your foot?
That's why he's got a
Probably, like-
G-swag now.
Yeah.
have you ever heard of like hide your swollen ankle from your dad? Like no matter at all costs. Because there's one thing that it's really broken and swollen. It's another that he's gonna stand on today. So just avoid him.
I thought we were going to the doctors. It's like, oh yeah, get in the car. We're gonna go see the doctors, and then next minute we went to someone else's house that we didn't even know, and then
Get to
just-
some old lady's house and then
and they got the teenage boys to hold me down while he soles my leg.
Oh, surely.
Wow. Okay.
this is this traditional for form. Like
Yeah,
ah,
yeah.
I'm glad there's like people who actually know what they're doing these days, like available at our fingertips, say, you know.
Oh, bro. If
Somebody
that,
meets you there, help you.
if the Huskanstone is fully booked all the time, so it's hard to get a session in. Sis, can you like probably a few words to differentiate physio and massage therapy, if there's any?
Yeah. So physio in a sort of like a simple sort of aspect. So physio is there's so many different types of physios, but if I was to base it on a musculoskeletal physiotherapist, which are the ones we deal with a lot or get referrals from, they are more about. I hope there's a physio that pops up and corrects me if I'm wrong. But from what I know is that they do a lot with rehabilitation, movement and exercise. That's in a nutshell. I know there's more, but those are the three that massage therapists sort of know of. And with massage therapy, we have a more holistic approach. Like we look at the body as a whole. If you come in with a shoulder issue, we don't just look at your shoulder. I will assess the closest areas too. So I'll look at your neck, I'll look at your lower back, or I'll look at whatever's going, I'll look at like the elbow or the wrist. So that's what I mean by holistic. We follow the whole body. Physiotherapist, again, if you're going in with a specific thing, like say shoulder, they will look at the shoulder. I've never had a physio appointment myself. I just get a 4-4 or just kind of nut it out on my own. But it's what I know is that it's a lot of rehabilitation. So we do a lot of referring to physios for that, and then physios will refer a lot of the soft tissue work, muscle manipulation to us. So we kind of go back and forth. But physios and massage therapists, if they were to really understand what we do together, if we fully understand how they work and they fully understand how we work, man, would be unbeatable, to be honest.
Yeah.
It would be a mean team. Yeah. And that's kind of the mission at the moment with me and a few other massage therapists, is that we're trying to bring that together properly. Those are the main differences.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Have you had any clients that that you've had like obviously a good time with, but what's your funniest or most memorable time with one of your clients out there, or that you've enjoyed maybe?
Funniest time.
Yeah.
I think the elderly are the funniest. The elderly, having the elderly
Yeah.
people in, because they will talk about everything. Like there's nothing hidden with the elderly that come through. The wholesome sessions, I think, after doing a lot of clinical stuff, and you get an elderly person come in and they bring back their first experience of their massage or their fufu, or they'll talk about the healers and their family. I learn a lot of our history through the elderly. So those are the best sessions. Is when I hear about the roots of massage from them. There was one lady who was experiencing back pain, and she said that her grandmother massaged her stomach. And she goes, I have no idea why my stomach was getting massaged, but when I got up, my back pain was gone. And then I said, far out. How did they know that back then? Because going through the stomach, for massage therapists, going through the stomach is how you get to a psoas muscle, and that's the one. That's the muscle that you need to get into for back pain. So I don't know how they did that back then. I don't know how they knew that that's how you get to the psoas. And you're talking about early 1900s. I don't know how they knew that. That's pretty cool. Well, in the islands, you know.
Yeah.
There is I share stories about my nana who was a healer too. So my dad's mother was a midwife. She delivered all the bubbas in the village, and then you have my mum's mum who was also a healer, but she healed without touching, and it was always something to do with the eye. Um, I can't explain how she made things work. Like I had a cousin who was born with a birthmark in her eye, and my grandmother had her in front. They did this. Have you ever seen that? They kind of do this in front of you. You're standing like 2 feet apart, and my nana did that. In the course of that week, the birthmark started to slowly disappear. And she was born with that. So it's some unexplained stuff. And these are the sort of stories that are shared with my elderly clients that come through. And then we ended off with prayer a lot of the time, which brings me back down to my roots and why I love massage, because of these. Yeah, it's the elderly that keep it real with me. I love that. Yeah.
Man, that's so cool to hear, especially hear it from the elderly, or within your family itself. You earlier, you said everyone, or well, most of everyone, your brother, sister, and now you said Bobby is working in that kind of what would you call
Health
it, like
sort of
the
field. Yeah.
health, yeah, health field.
Yeah.
Is that for you and running your own business? Does that help you? Like having
Beneficial.
everyone
Yeah.
around you, and yeah, beneficial. Yeah, does it help you? And
Yeah.
do you go to them for a bit of help? And hey,
Yeah.
does this?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think, say with my sister, she deals with geriatric end of care sort of nursing. Um, she's been doing it for years, so we'll talk about how massage can help elderly together. Uh, and she'll tell me what they're experiencing. She's even referred a couple of people to me to see. And it's a different approach again. Like you have to think of their skin, you have to think of their muscle tone. I can't give a fufu to an elderly person like what I give to Bobby. Like the whole session changes again, and it could just be holding, that which is all they want, or it could be the holding of hands. It could take 20 minutes to come from the neck all the way to the hand. Like that's how slow palliative massage could be. And it's more like a comfort for a lot of the elderly people that come in for a massage. There was an elderly client that I did have, not through my sister, but a similar hospital, who was experiencing ankle pain. And when I went to see him, he had no legs. So he was an amputee. No one told me he was an amputee. So I
Oh
get to
wow.
this
Oh,
home.
excellent.
So I get to this home, and it was the family who kind of heard about me and wanted me to come and just apply some massage. But I would think the family would give me a heads up that you know, their old man was having ankle pain and he had no ankles. So
Okay.
I
Oh,
guess, yeah.
solely.
Was it?
Um,
What was it? Was it awkward?
So
Was it awkward?
when
Like,
so he lost his ankle. I think it was he must have had an illness or something where I think diabetes, where he lost his leg. But in his muscle memory, he was experiencing ankle pain. It was in his memory. And the word for that is, they call it phantom pains. So yeah, it was applying pressure to that joint, just where it got cut off. So it was applying pressure there, talking him through the pain, and just after that talking about other things, like, and it helped. It's a lot of patience when you deal with geriatric the geriatric population.
That's crazy. The brain,
Yeah.
man.
um
Phantom pain.
Phantom pain. There are people with fibromyalgia who come through for massage, and it's pain that they cannot see. They don't know where it is, and it's really real. Like, there's some clients that walk in here and there's no injury to the leg, there's no injury to the foot or whatever, and they're walking in here and they're saying, it feels like I'm walking on glass. I feel like, you know, I can't walk. They'll probably limp and just land on the table, and you look at their foot, or there's nothing there. There's no redness, there's no inflammation. They're experiencing severe pain, and I don't know where to start, because it's you know, I physically can't see it. But when you get them talking, about their pain, there's a lot of other factors. It's not just that. It's, you know, we're going outside, we'll talk about their psychological side of things, like emotional stuff. Yeah. But it could be due to whatever. There's a lot of factors. Yeah. And so someone with fibromyalgia might be seeing me and an osteo, or see me and, you know, another modality that help. And they're probably on some good medicinal cannabis too, and that helps.
Medicinal. I like it.
Because it works.
Medicinal.
Yeah. So yeah, there's all sorts of different pains that come through these doors. I'm learning, you know, I'll go back and talk to a lecturer or talk to my peers. Hey, have you had a client with this? Have you had a client with this? What have you guys done? So the bigger the network, it helps the clients too. Yeah.
man, that's
It's
so
just
cool
you know how
to
you're
hear
saying
that sort of stuff,
earlier.
because it's a different name.
What was that?
Goes.
No, I just wanted to bring up what you said earlier, how 80% of your clients are polys,
Mm.
and the others are referrals from like outside of South Auckland.
Yeah.
Is that like, do you want to change, like slowly, like, what's the word, like, be the option for South Auckland doctors to be on, like, oh, you don't need the mids, you can just go to Huskanstone, like, be an option,
Yeah.
like, rather than getting referred
An
from
alternative
outside of South
to,
Auckland. Yeah, like, be like,
yeah.
oh, you don't need these mids, go see
that
Huskanstone.
there I'm yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. But like I said, with our industry, we need more qualified therapists that can push out research to prove that this can work. And that's what a collective of us are doing. We're just like, a lot of the cases that I get, I talk about them. I'll, you know, with no names mentioned, of course, but I'll talk about these sessions with my lecturers, and I'll record a session through paperwork, and I'll assess and I'll record a client's progress, and then I'll talk about the techniques that I've used to help this client and how often this client has come to see me. Hence the photos that I pop up on my Instagram, because that's proof. So I kind of open up my page to whoever, for research, that instead of talking to me, they can get a hold of the client with their permission, to discuss if it's worked for them. And the more I can push stuff like that out, the more respected the industry or my work, could eventually be. And then hopefully one day, be that referral from the doctors and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's a long road for the industry.
You're thinking like a normal massage therapist job and creating it into what it's probably what it was meant to be originally.
Yeah.
And then kind of like making it a thing, type of thing. Like it's like making it legit.
Making it an option. Yeah.
Yeah, like instead of just, here, I'll take these 2 of these and see me next week, your head should be better.
Yep.
Like type of thing. So
I mean, if you think about it,
listening to what you're saying, it's
yeah,
definitely an option, like outside of what we've been doing for the last 10 years, 20 years, So, I mean, I've had massages before, but I know the different kind of healing that you kind of get out of it. Not those kind of massages, Swanky, but
I never looked wrong. I was listening to it. It was Lance.
It's not like that.
Help.
You had to put it in reverse there, but hey.
you had to keep me in check. Oh no.
Wow,
but like we were talking about it before. I don't know if it was on the show or before the show. Like, how people, like our people, anyways, have a full, like, see massage therapy as just for pain, like not for relaxation reasons.
I'd actually encourage it, like what you just said, Swanky, how our islanders will just use it only when they're feeling like something sore, something broken, something's not right with their body, then they'll go see somebody. But I'd actually encourage people to spend the money on getting that relaxation therapy done. Like it's actually good for everything across the board, including the mental. So
including the mental.
I've had it. Like that's what I said. I've had it, and I know what what you gain out of it is mean. And it's just something would honestly, you hear that in Taiwan, they'll turn around, your mom will say, "It's a waste of money."
That's a good point there, Mike. So I actually get messages every week for that reason. It's just to help relax, and because we especially islanders carry a lot of stress, and they sometimes might not talk about it. And so, but for me, my job is pretty psychologically intense. So massage helps to relax all those muscles again and reset for the next week, and just relieve a lot of that tension that we build up during the week from work as well. So and highly recommend getting it.
And talking about being an islander and stress as well, it is a known fact that I did a study concentrating on South Auckland itself, and our 2 biggest killers are stress and poverty. So it's we stress that there's no money, we stress that we can't get the money, and then we stress more that makes us sick. I had put up a giveaway implementing that fact, trying to implement massage for that fact, that you don't have to be in physical pain to come for a massage. These are the reasons.
Awesome.
And it's people are there's a lot of self-care quotes, but I see it as more self-care isn't just caring for yourself in those 2 words, but it's knowing how to put yourself first at times, because we're a very giving culture. It's always, them before us, them before
Yeah.
us, them before us. And then you hear that saying that, you can't give from an empty cup. And that's true again, but we don't put them together. We only say it when it suits the situation, but we should be applying a lot of that to ourselves, like for real, so that we can operate properly for our families and for ourselves.
Like I seen a lot of people use those ones at the malls, those Asian ones at the malls and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually like, it's pretty cool to see the islanders using it. Like,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
I prefer them to go to like our people, to use our people
Yeah.
but I mean, the fact that you're just actually thinking about
Yeah.
enjoying
yeah.
a relaxing massage, thinking about spending money on it, because that's probably the biggest thing that you think of first is, shit, how much does it cost me?
The money.
For
Yep.
shoulders and back, for
Yep.
arms and neck. So I think looking past the money side of things, and then putting your mental and your physical health and feeling good as well, because you do, like, you feel good after you've done half an hour's worth. You sit up and you go, oh, that feels like a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm saying I could have just
man.
squeezed you for like whatever, and
Just
as long as you felt better, hey.
lomi the muscle.
Like
in the
just
back
lomi
there.
your neck in, and it's. But as long as you feel good, and as
But
long as
mentally,
like,
you feel good, eh? Yeah. You
that's
come out of there
what-
like, wow.
Yeah.
Everything
I
feels
think
better.
I have clients that come from an Asian fufu or Asian massage, and then they'll come here, and then they'll talk about the difference. The biggest point of difference that I try and put out there with massage is that the client knows what the hell just happened. Where we worked on, why I worked on there. We will reassess after. They probably couldn't reach all the way up here. Now they can put the arm behind their back or something. So adding value to a session by educating the client on the benefits of what just happened is even better. And communication. There's a lot of my clients that come from the Asian massages, and it felt really awkward. They're like, oh man, it was like complete silence for like an hour. They don't know what happened. But it's making an experience so that they will come back, that they trust you. There's a massive element in trust in massage. There's one aspect of massage, say for my bigger girls that are self-conscious, but they're not even just the bigger ones. It's most girls themselves, self-conscious about their bodies. Some of the guys that come through, it's draping. It's knowing how to cover them properly with a towel. It's only exposing an area that you're going to work on and covering everything else.
Please, Kylie, before you come and see Huskandstone. Thanks for saying that we haven't Kylie, but please, Kylie, when you come to Huskandstone.
That's a must.
Been out before.
Don't you ever show up.
Bobby was not.
But yeah, no, it's the little thing.
That's for Bobby too. That's for Bobby too.
Just get Bobby to fuck out Elidim before they get a message.
Just use the hose outside.
Bobby, jump off. Come on.
Yeah.
Poor Bobby just taking it. Bobby, jump off.
Yeah, it's the little things, making the experience a bit more comfortable for our people, so that they can, I don't know, talk about what just got worked on, or learn a muscle, like they like that.
It sounds very similar, like how people come in as well. Sometimes they, like, for us boys, for example, the comparison would be, and had a session on this earlier around barbershop. The boys go into the barbershop for a haircut, but actually we go in there for a chat as well. And so it sounds like, sounds like people come in to see you not just for the massage, but just to let off a little bit of stress through just talking with them as well.
Yep. No, that's true. A lot of the sessions are talking. We're talking right through a session, and then it could lead into something that happened the weekend, or what they're looking forward to, or just an emotional sort of thing. Like some people just come in here because it's a safe place to talk about something that they've been wanting to talk about with someone that's not going to judge them, or just to let out some steam, like you said.
Yeah, nice.
Have you squeezed anybody and they've got food?
Oh,
Because that's letting off steam.
oh,
You know?
oh,
Relaxation can kind of do that to you.
oh.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you
it
show
kinda
Lee
happened.
Bobby any?
But,
that one?
but my clients are real funny. They'll crack up about it. So I mean, it will just end up in laughs.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It just
Sure.
happens, you know.
How do you know how much pressure you apply to someone? Like for example, if it's like the poly men, and you're applying a lot of pressure to them, they know it's painful and they don't want to say, "Oh, can you put it a bit? Can you lighten up?" But because they want to go through all the pain, they're like, they want to be men, masculinity. They're like, and they, at the end of it, it's more they didn't get the treatment they want, but because they want to show that they can hack
it.
the pressure. You're like, flinching and all that. How do you
How
kind
do I
of approach?
gauge?
Yeah.
There are times where I'll talk about the pressure scale. Like there is a pressure scale that we discuss. So I'll be like, "Oh, have you had massage before?" That's usually the first question, and they'll be like, "Yeah." I get it a lot. Before I talk about the pressure scale, there are some people that are just like, "Oh, yeah, I like deep pressure. Just give me the pressure." So I'll be like, "Okay, so just discuss the pressure scale anyway." So it's like it's a scale from 1 to 10. So we say 1 to 2 is like applying lotion. 3 to 4 is a little bit deeper. The skin starts to redden.
Yeah.
And you're no longer in relaxation once it hits a 4. So 4 is usually deep tissue. That's a deep tissue massage. You're still in relaxation mode. And then 5 to 6 starts to get a bit clinical, starts to get a bit heavy. And then from 8, 9, 10, that pressure that's sports massage. Well, not a 10. 10 is death, but 8 to 9 is like a sports pressure.
10 is the strong woman.
10 is
Yeah, shouldn't
is
be
the strong woman.
Shouldn't be getting there at all. But you'll have a client, and I have other therapists that can speak on that. They'll just go, "Yeah, man." They just said, "Oh, I like 10s. I like 10s." We'll get some people who don't really understand the pressure of massage, and then you give it because they've asked for it, and then we're back down to 4, like say 20 minutes in, 10 minutes in, something like that. But you go by the client. You keep asking them, "Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that okay?" You just keep talking to them about it. But I have some clients who actually do like those 8, 9s, and 10s. It's crazy.
I can't stand
Oh
that.
yeah, I better talk to
crazy.
my auntie Mailing down the road. Tell her there's no scale. You just solis me, man.
Yeah, there are some people that really like that pressure, and that pain is therapeutic to them. You just go with it.
Now, would you with your schedule at the moment, when can people book in? How busy are you? Probably booked out till, or is your schedule open, or?
Yeah, I'm fully booked in the next couple of weeks. There are chances of like a cancellation or a move to another day. So that's when I post up on my stories that there's a free space. And those go pretty fast. So I do urge people to just leave their notifications
very,
on.
very fast.
But I've got, So I've had a lot of questions on when are you going to stop? Because baby's due next month, end of next month. I'm just going to go till I can't. I'm all right.
Strength.
Yeah.
Says I see you using cupping. Is that
Cupping, yeah.
Is that with every session you
Nope.
use cupping, or is it?
No,
I think
Yeah, these
that's-
different-
not every.
So
What was
you have
that?
other alternatives to your.
Especially casual of the equals on it.
Oh yeah.
Cupping is a like an additional part to a massage for those who want it. So there is a thing called fascia that we talk about, that a lot of my clients, my regulars, know exactly what it is now. We talk about fascia, which is like a glad wrap sort of connective tissue that sits on top of actual muscle. And a lot of my sessions involve warming that up first before getting to the actual muscle itself. And cupping kind of can help with fascia, just like as a form of suction.
Yeah.
It'll lift it up, let some blood flow through. I have a different approach with cupping. I'll get the person to move, call it dynamic cupping, and that decompresses the muscle, so it helps it further. There is another form of cupping that I'll be bringing in soon for relaxation. It's fire cupping, using glass-like cups, like little jars, and that's a warming sort of cup. So those are warm. They're a softer. They're actually, they look hard out, but it's a softer sort of suction compared to the manual plastic ones that you've probably seen me use a lot of. But that's really soothing. Fire cupping. Yeah.
And then you have
so cupping is.
That's the traditional. That's how it started. The fire cupping.
My parents remembered using it in the islands. They were saying that they would, using like glass jars, like old glass jars of whatever was in there, and they would heat up the glass, use the fire to bring all the oxygen out, and then put it on the. It was either like an infection, I think it was like a boil.
Yeah,
that
that's why I saw it on.
Yeah, and it'll suck it up.
My sauce. Oh.
Yeah. Mutties, there, I think in other countries back then they would use horns as well. Horns from an animal for cupping. So cupping's been around for ages.
The boys probably asked this earlier before I joined, but what are the biggest misconceptions with what you do, especially from our island community, to help them educate a little bit more?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a misconception. I would say it's maybe a lack of awareness or a lack of education around massage. For one, I think the polys, our Māori and Polynesian communities are more accepting of massage. They're the easiest to discuss massage with. Misconceptions I would get from other people, other populations, that would think that, and it's more in the medical field, not the public. The public are awesome, but I guess some medical professions just think we do Swedish massage, which is effleurage and petrissage. All we do is rub a muscle. That's probably the biggest misconception, and we are also thought to not clinically assess, but it also comes back down to them not knowing how qualified some of our massage therapists are. Like, you start from a level 4 certificate, diploma, degree, and then you have massage therapists that go into physiotherapy or midwifery or whatever. But with our Polynesian community, I think when they come in, they're probably expecting a fofo, only because I'm Samoan. And then when they come in and I do a consultation, we'll go through an assessment, and then we'll do testing, and then we'll do the treatment. They're like, oh, didn't know that's what massage therapists do. So
that's cool.
Yeah, started from there. I think the biggest help in the beginning of my journey was, if Dee and Loto, I can't see who's watching, but if Dee and Loto are on here, they were the owners of Homebred Fitness. a few years back, and they were the ones that pretty much opened a platform for me to bring what I had to the table, to the community. So they were a big help. They got better Samoan than me, so they were able to discuss what I did for them to other people, to the Samoan community that was coming through.
Yeah.
And then it just started there, and then I was just busy from then on in. And this
Nice.
was 2019, so it was just pushing out the education. I could say that anyone that's come through here has learned something. Like, it's
Yeah.
always educating, it's always adding value to every session through awareness. I love it when my clients message back and they go, "Oh man, do you know that distal part of the levator scap that you worked on my neck? Yeah, I've been pushing on it and it feels amazing now." Like, they're learning the terminology too. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the Levada scap. Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, people talking about that makes me happy that they've gone off and they've really taken in the education too.
Is there a
Nice.
short
That-
short-term fix for like sore neck? Like, if you were to give one tip to like myself, because I got a sore neck.
What? Stop hitting your
Like, where do I press? Do I press
Sorry,
my?
guys.
They said you press over here. Something to do with your head. I don't know. Them.
Go
you
see
know what they
Bobby. Yeah,
Oh.
it is.
yeah,
You press
It
over
would
here.
depend.
Something to do with your.
Squeeze
Yeah.
here, I feel better.
The cheap and. No, there's nothing. Okay.
There's no quick fix, because there's like, oh my goodness, I don't have my anatomy pictures of necks, but there's so many muscles there.
Not
You've
even the
got
massage
traps
gun.
Not even Google can fix your neck. So.
You could put it on wherever it's sore, I guess, whatever. But yeah, you'd need to be assessed just in case it's something else.
Yeah, so that's where the assessment comes in. Yeah, right. Nice.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. So people that coming in for shoulder pain, they'll always say something's referring to the neck, or it's referring down the arm. So there's special tests that we apply for those too, in case it's thoracic outlet syndrome, or muscles in the neck are too tight, they're compressing other nerves and they're sending down numbness and tingling down the arms. Like, it's not just, I've got a sore neck, can you massage it?
Man, now that I'm listening to what you're saying, I'm just imagining now, going to those Asian ones and just say 30-minute neck and shoulders. Like,
yeah.
And they're not even not even worried about what's like actually sore or like why you're there. They're just taking your money and just
Take your
putting hands on you and taking money. There's no explanation. There's no putting you on the right path to getting like better from whatever it was that's
yeah,
sore.
communicating to you, like saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm pressing here because it's gonna release the tension in your thoracic ductum."
Yeah. And it's sporadic,
This is
still
a fascia.
Bloody.
How do you spell that?
Mafioso's family, bro.
I'm favela in the cup to Kogi Olu.
Thank you. Stop going to the Asian
I'm not going to talk to Auntie Mei Ling. So,
like, 3 hours.
first time I want to talk about the scale. So,
Precious scale.
But the pressure scale doesn't happen at 1 a.m. in the morning, also.
Oh wow.
Do you get a lot of probably shouldn't say it because your clients might be watching, but do you get have you ever had any those fear buckle types that just go, oh no, it's this like can you just like massage my neck or my back?
Yeah. I would. The only reason why they would think that is because someone told them, before they came to me.
Right.
So they would have been given advice, and you approach it like I said, like sometimes I'll sit my client down and we're going through this chart. We'll be going through like anatomy. I'll bring out books. I'll bring out my phone. I've got an app of muscles, and I'll talk about how these work and what they move. But yeah, I got a lot of that. I get, oh, not a lot. I would say maybe 2 or 3 times a month. I'll get a client that they're adamant that it's something presenting to them, but then I'll go through the reasons why I think it's this, and then we'll just go from there. But yeah, no, it's common only because you have Google too. People self-diagnose.
Yeah, right.
And then it's even better when you're working alongside another health professional like physios as well. And sometimes I'll swap notes with them. I'll give them a call and go, hey, what are you working on with this person? Because they really think it's this. They'll go, oh yeah, no. And then I'll kind of give them what I find. And then we just come to some sort of treatment plan together and go from there.
Cool.
Thanks, sis. Sorry, just a comment.
Been missing for a bit. But anyway,
Can't even see that.
I think Bobby has a solution for your neck there too.
Eyes straight, is it?
You have to turn. You have to turn when you're turning the train, Sully. When you go around the curves, you gotta turn.
Too busy at the platform doing this, sleeping. You wonder why the train isn't moving. But man, tonight's episode's been a really good one, educational as well, because apart from just knowing or seeing what a massage therapist is, and now understanding what they actually do, it's, you appreciate the work that you and your team put in, and now we know not to go to Auntie Mei Ling because she's not going to give us.
Not go, but just say, hey, where's this pressure scale? I don't want to go tens all the time.
Or they just ask her if she's got the chart for the serratus to the scalatorium. Next time, ask her for the chart because she's playing up, man.
Cupping is only for the faucia level. Spell it, sorry.
But thanks. Yeah, fascia, man, get it right.
That's what I said. It's my Michaels. It's my mic.
Fashion.
Fashion.
But thank you, sis.
Sorry about my mates.
For giving up your time with us. I guess everyone had enjoyed their time.
Thank you.
Just before we go, just a quick, how we always end our show is just a bit of advice or tips that we can take away, or those out there that are listening can take away. We'll start off with the boss man.
For me, it's just go see our family at HUSKANDSTONE and support our family. And for me, massage has given me time to think, and also just to relieve a lot of tension that we might not have to take home or take to the next day to work. So I'm a big believer. So go see the fams.
I'll echo what Lance said. First and foremost, thank you, sis, for taking the time to jump on the show.
Sorry.
But yeah. Check out HUSKANDSTONE. Support the family, and self-care, man. Get a massage every week or every fortnight. Look after yourselves. But thank you, sis, for taking time.
No, thank you, guys.
Mafioso.
Oh yeah. Thanks, sis, for jumping on tonight. I do believe in what you do, and then feeling good. And I'll probably challenge everybody out there who's listening, or at the moment there's 8 people watching. Take your mum while you're there, like
Yes.
our elders, who we are supposed to be
Yes.
looking after, take them to see Husky Stone
Yes.
or to get a massage or to get that feel good. You know, that's not only just physical but mental. So
Beneficial.
our elders can't take themselves sometimes, or they don't. They're a bit skeptical.
Yeah.
I'll put it on us. We've got the knowledge and the education to look after our elders a little bit better. So yeah, get them out there to see people like Husky Stone if she's too busy. Try to get a cancellation. Yeah, take them because it's worth it. And they're doing a good
Skippy
thing for,
Lahousie. Skippy
our elders.
Lahousie.
Nice,
Thank
mate.
you.
See HUSKANDSTONE.
Thank you.
Yeah, again, I thank you, sis. But I think you said it earlier about self-care. There's always, yeah, you do have to look after yourself, but then you kind of have to look further, and it kind of breaks what I've been kind of thinking about massage therapy as just a massage, but no, it's actually quite deeper than that. You get to, and with Husky and Stone again, you guys are, oh well, you're very educational about what you're doing and the job that you're
Yeah.
doing with patients or clients. So, yeah, self care is very important. So, if you just joined in now, it's man, I've learned a lot, especially with all those fancy words that
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
even make sense to
So,
me.
what is it, vacation or what'd you say, Tim?
Stop swearing, Willie.
Oh
You're
my.
swearing now.
It's for
I'm
the
just-
geisha. For the geisha.
You're swearing, Willie. That's for the patient.
No.
Hey,
Geisha around the
Swanky,
education.
Swanky, can you just put up the quote that Joe Marino's put up there, that last one? Because I think that sums up a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about as well. Shout out to Joe. That's, hit it right on the point there. So, like, for those people that are listening, Joe
Thanks,
said
Joe.
relaxation from all the bullshit that we surrounded by. Stone 100%. So that's awesome.
Oh,
Right on.
Thanks, Joe.
very nice.
Shout out to Joe. And then we'll end it off with you, sis. Please no fancy words, because then I have to go and get the dictionary out.
So, yeah.
You have to Google them.
Just something about massage or not about massage?
Anything.
Anything.
Oh.
Anything.
Anything.
Any advice you want to give?
Jeez,
Even if it's to go and speak proper English theory. Oh.
Even if it's Bobby Kokaele, you've been sitting there and not doing anything.
Probably when Swaggy comes over, you make sure you sully him.
Oh man.
oh man. Massage.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
any advice
Well,
to close the show off.
yeah. Geez. Well, it took a while. Well, with anyone that's kind of struggling with where to go, I think yeah, I went through that a long time, trying to find where I kind of fit in society. Massage therapy was the last place I would ever think of looking into, because I thought, geez, I had to stop thinking of money. Like a lot of the jobs that I was in, kind of, financial gain was the main. But I found a place where I can meet all avenues of what I'm looking for in a career, and it was the most humbling sort of avenue. I mean, massage, like, never thought of that. So I've always kind of appreciated all the bad falls, like all the, oh man, why did I go through here? Why did I go through there? It's going to make sense to me in the end. I know it's still going. The cooking, the finance, the fixing cars, or not fixing, or assisting to fix cars. All that stuff will make sense for me in the end, I know. So yeah, just, it's cliche, like, don't give up, I guess. Keep going. Yeah, you'll find your passion in a place that you would not even think was possible, and that's where I found it in massage. So yeah, don't underestimate yourself, really. Don't
Awesome.
underestimate massage now.
Nice. Well,
It's coming.
And
It's coming. The movement's going. Yeah.
and where can we
And
find you again for those who just tuned in?
sorry. Also, if you're finding it hard to book with me as well, I do have other massage therapists that I can refer people to, that we've all studied together. Depending on what a client's after, I can refer them over to a few of my friends that we all study together as well. They're just as good, just as awesome.
Cool. Is Mei Ling part of your team? Because just asking for a mate.
nah.
I know some Mei Ling.
Nah. Auntie Mei Ling is not on the team. She doesn't have a pressure skills.
Yeah. So sis, so where can where can those that have tuned in, like the boss has said, where can we find you, or people that have tuned in, where can they find you? At HUSKANDSTONE?
Instagram.
Yep.
Instagram is my main at the moment. It's just easier for me to tap into. If I had too many other forms, it would kind of do my head in, and it's just me. I'll get a lot of people who think it's a team of, I don't know how many people they think are running this. My husband's my biggest supporter, my family, but the workload it's me. I check the messages by myself. I do the work. So yeah, it's just me. So just to let everyone know, sorry if I get back to the messages quite late, or I answer messages at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. Yeah, that's why.
Alright.
It's just me checking.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Bobby too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to
Don't
Bobby
be a
that didn't go
stranger.
training.
Milling, fix
He's
your
in
mic.
training.
But thank you everyone. Again, shout out to the chat. It's been great tonight with all their questions, and sorry we didn't get to check you guys up, but it's been an educational one tonight. Thank you to the brothers that jumped on too,
Yes, sir.
especially our boss. I think he just came in to check up on us. Now he's gonna go do a disappearing act for the next week, and check up on something again.
You know it.
So yeah, if you guys are after HUSKANDSTONE, check them up on Instagram. We've been checking their handle up quite a lot. So reach out to us if you are interested.
And we'll
in
continue to do so.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm Teza.
I'm sorry, a second.
Of you, so.
Yo, Lance.
And you have the beautiful and amazing Queen
Sana.
HUSKANDSTONE, also known as Sun. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, sis.